Hey guys, welcome back to Everything Anime Podcast. I'm your host Shinry, here with Everything Anime Podcast, talking from anime, manga, video games, TV shows, and whatever relevant topic we're probably talking about. Today's video is on Tokyo Ghoul, chapter 68 to 71, Ayato and Tokuya's backstory. Now, it's been a minute since we talked about Tokyo Ghoul, I know. And as I said before, I had watched all of the Tokyo Ghoul Season 1 anime, and it skipped through a lot of shit. And then it just randomly ends. And if you haven't seen Tokyo Ghoul anime, I'm not going to ruin it. But I did talk about that, I think, in a previous chapter, like my thoughts on Tokyo Ghoul Season 1 as well. One of the last two videos of Tokyo Ghoul, you can find it. It's in the Tokyo Ghoul playlist. But anyway, so when we last left off, the CCG and the Agori tree are currently in an all-out war. Like, they're all fighting each other. The CCG wants to sweep all of the Agori tree because they've been taking out all the paranormal investigators and slowly taking over all of Japan. And we can't let that happen. We can't let ghouls take over. They are led by the One-Eyed King, which is said in the anime, that's what he's called. But in the manga, he's called the One-Eyed Owl. I'm not sure why the change happened, but it's apparently the same character. And Kaneki got captured by Yamayori because he smelled like rise. He wanted to interrogate him and torture him. And then, Kaneki whooped his ass in the last chapter we found out about. And Kaneki has now gone full ghoul with Rise playing his emotions and taking over him. Meanwhile, Ayato is using the cover of the war between the CCG and the Agori tree to sneak in and save Kaneki, unbeknownst to them that he's already transformed into a ghoul and has already saved himself. So that's where we last left off. Oh, also that Takuya had teamed up with Nishio. They went off in one direction, and then Yomo and Shu went off in another direction. Yes, Shu, the gourmet ghoul, has teamed up with us to save Kaneki, but really he wants to eat Kaneki for himself because... And we already talked about how Shu survived. It doesn't make no sense, but whatever. So, yeah, so that's where we currently left off. And also, Nishio got knocked out with one hit by Ayato, Takuya's brother, and now we're about to get into a fight between Ayato and Takuya. So, he's like, her older brother, and I think it's her younger brother, Ayato, he's like, what are you doing here? Why'd you come to the Agori tree? Like, it's given like an Itachi, especially when you find out what the reveal is over these next couple chapters, but he's just like, why are you here? He easily gets under his sister's skin, telling him that Kaneki is already dead, and she launches into an attack about thinking this is because we know that Takuya, despite how hardcore she's acting out on the surface, deep inside she's pretty soft, very kind. Her best friend's a human. She cares about Kaneki as well. So hearing that somebody she cares about is in danger or dead, or even just like talking like that, she's ready to kill his ass. He and Takuya prepared to engage in a battle. But before we even get to that, before we get to see this cool fight, we swap back over to Yamayori, who is ironically crying for his mommy. This is Yamayori, the dude nicknamed Jason, with the hockey mask and everything. Yeah, he's on the ground crying for his mommy because Kaneki beat his ass pretty badly. Which, again, since we just learned that from Shu that you can eat your own flesh to survive, I'm like, well, why don't Yamayori just do that? He's afraid that he's going to die, but in his mind, he's afraid that he's going to die, but in his mind, I said lucky for him because it's not really lucky. Juzo shows up, the crazy new CCG that they keep mistaking as a girl, but he's a boy, and he's like, has some weird thing with like his tongue and killing ghouls. We don't really know. I'm assuming he is like... I'm assuming it might be like a thing from Demon Slayer where that guy eats demonic flesh and then he like becomes part demon. I'm assuming something like that. We haven't really got the backstory on Juzo yet. But that's just where I'm going. He thinks he's got an easy kill. Oh yeah, so this is what happened. Yamayori is dying. He thinks he's about to die, but he sees Juzo. So he's like, oh, I'm lucky. I'll get to eat a human and survive. But again, Shu ate his own flesh. And you're not going to tell me this guy didn't try eating his own flesh before. So, but anyway, he sees Juzo. He thinks he's got an easy kill. But he doesn't know that Juzo is a mini Mato or crazier than Mato. We know Mato is crazy. Mato loved killing ghouls to connect their Kinekis and having a Kineki collection, where Juzo is just crazy, apparently. But it's not him that's got Juzo. It's Juzo who's got Yamayori. Like, and Patrick was like, when SpongeBob was like, I got you now. And then Patrick's like, it's not you that's got me, it's me that's got me.
You were an alien all the time, and you didn't even tell me.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, but I got you now.
Oh, but it's not you that's got me. It's me that's got me.
Sorry, I like adding these random clips in there. Not sure how to describe what he does to him, but it seems like he put a windmill on his face. The entire scene isn't shown in the season 1 anime at all, but it looks like Juzo like put a windmill or like is cutting his face up really fast. It's hard to describe. I mean, I'm gonna show off the panels and everything, but like again, none of this is in the season 1 anime. Like pretty much, when I remember season 1 anime, Yamiyori fights Kaneki. Kaneki saves Banjo and his crew, and then it just ends. Even the one-eyed ghoul fight is like off screen. Oh no, we see like part of it. We see like something, I think, but like not a lot of it. So all of this was like brand new to me. But with that, Yamiyori is officially dead. He is done for. He is gonzo. Finito, okay.
Your service is over as of this moment.
Over. Finito.
Guys, like every time.
Sorry, these random references will be popping in my head, and I like to like throw them in there. That's from like fucking scary movie or something. Anyways, back with the other members of the CCG with the One-Eyed King, who again, like I said, in the manga is the One-Eyed Owl, but in the anime it's the One-Eyed King. The one that hyped up in previous chapters, like they've been talking about the One-Eyed Owl, or like saying how he's strong. He's like one of the first ghouls to eat other ghouls, a cannibalistic ghoul, and then like his not Kineke, his Kagane leveled up and like became even stronger. So, we also learned that this could be the same ghoul. This is also what we also learned about. Like, there are more ghouls like Kaneki out there thanks to the Dr. Ghoul. So the One-Eyed Ghoul, or the One-Eyed King, the One-Eyed Owl, whatever, he could be like Kaneki, who was experimented on by the Dr. Ghoul, because we know that he made more like Kaneki around the same time Rise died. Like, there's others out there that have Rise's organs. I'm not saying the One-Eyed Owl has Rise's organs, because we know that they fought him like 20 years ago or something like that. So obviously it couldn't have been Rise, but like he could have been a human that got experimented on. He became a ghoul. He started becoming a cannibal. 8 other ghouls got this powerful. That's what I'm assuming happened. Again, we don't know much of the backstory. We do get a flashback to a younger Mato, though, and 2 other top members of the CCG, who I'm not going to name because, again, these characters are coming like this. I mean, Dr. Stone introduces a lot of characters, but these characters are like, sometimes like cannon fodder. Instead, they first encountered the One-Eyed Owl, again, like 20 years ago. Like, this is a younger Mato. They mentioned that Mato might want revenge. This could be a reference to that ring that Tokua found, like, when Mato died. Like, I didn't notice it in the manga, but I saw it in the anime. Like, apparently Mato had a ring on. That's what Tokua was looking at on Mato's hand. I thought she was looking at the cut and scars on his hand. So I'm assuming like maybe the One-Eyed Owl killed Mato's family, and that's why he's obsessed with Kinekis, and that's why he's obsessed with like collecting Kinekis to like maybe one day get one strong enough to kill the One-Eyed Owl. Again, not really explained yet. It's not made quite clear, but we also learned that Arima, I'm not sure you said that name. I haven't got that far in the anime. But a CCG investigator, Amon, thought fondly of, was actually the one to ever wound the One-Eyed Owl. So this investigator named Arima, Aramia, is the one that wounded the One-Eyed Owl in close quarters combat. We don't know what his Kineki was. We don't know how he did it. But he was the only one to ever wound the One-Eyed Owl. We do also learn that he managed to cut off both of the owl's arms. So I guess like major damage. Again, like the way it's presented in the manga, I'm not sure if he grew new arms or something like that. I don't know. I mean, I guess he could, because ghouls can regenerate their bodies over time. And if you're this strong, if you're a cannibalistic ghoul, I can see you regrowing your arms. But the fact that like Arima even did it means like he was close enough. If he had survived, sorry guys, or maybe if he did survive, I'm not sure yet. If he did survive, he knows a way to kill the One-Eyed Owl. But it's not a lot of it's a lot of information in a short amount of time. But that was what was most relevant. That's what I have in my notes. Yeah, because like I said, there's a lot of things going on sometimes, and I just usually grab the most relevant information and share it with you guys, because that's all I can do. I'm not gonna read every panel or page to you guys. I'm just gonna give you the facts, and we're gonna get through this video together. The lead CCG, like in the anime, however, does recommend that the only best paranormal investigators fight him. So, okay, this fight did happen in the anime because I had that in my notes. So I must have forgot because like I said, I haven't watched season 1. I haven't continued with season 2. I'm not going to because season 1 was bad. I'm gonna finish all of Tokyo Ghoul and I'll watch it. But yeah, he's like says like only the 2 tops should remain behind and fight the one-eyed owl. And I think it was like him and some other guy, and they have this weird power. But anything else would be kind of cannon fodder, so they're needed somewhere else. He's like, hey, look. If you're not strong or if you're afraid to fight the one-eyed owl, you're going to die anyway. So get out of here. All the strongest people stay, and we'll take them on, which are basically the 2 lead investigators. 2 of the investigators' names, who I forgot. I was trying to remember, but I couldn't recall it. They do pull out these dope kinikis, though they're more like flesh. The armor, it's like an armor of flesh you wear. Like, this is the first wearable kiniki we've seen. And I think they were shown for 1 minute in season 1. Okay, yeah. They were shown in season 1, but like it's for like 1 minute. Yeah, so this fight was on screen, but it's on screen for 1 minute because again, the anime just ends. Season 1 just ends like that. But we don't really get to learn about the armor just yet. But hopefully it's in my notes. I'm pretty sure it is. But we then flash back over to Ayato and Tokua on the roof as they continue their battle. Ayato keeps up with the taunts about their parents, about how useless they were. They died. They left us behind, so who cares about them? He threatens to cut out Takuya's wings, which is now making me think that she's a butterfly or something like that, because they reference wings a lot. Like, I know Takuya's a speed type, and I guess butterflies are fast in a sense. But, I mean, it's not outright said they're butterfly ghouls, but that's what I'm getting. But, again, he begins to eat her wings the same way that Yamiyori did to Kaneki. Like, you know, Ayato is basically being a cannibalistic ghoul. He's like, I'm going to make sure you never fly again or something like that. Like, you only got 1 wing anyway, so once I eat this, like, you're basically done for. And, you know, she's screaming out in pain because their cognizes are basically like a piece of their body. We then begin their backstory, and we can see that he was trying to, the father was trying to teach his kids how to blend in with humans, pretending to accept the offer of their food from a friendly elderly woman. This is probably why Tokua accepts her friend's food, but she forces herself to eat it. Like, all she has to do is like take her friend's food. She don't have to actually eat it. Well, her friend does force her to eat it in front of her from time to time, but then Tokua goes in the bathroom and forces herself to swallow it because like she wants to. She really wants to be human. She wants to blend in with humans as her father, I guess, try to teach her and taught her. But I already knew something was going to happen with this elderly woman the moment I saw her. We didn't even get a look at their dad. He kind of reminds me of like some kind of handsome. I thought he was kind of handsome for a ghoul. Again, I'm not into manga characters, anime characters, but I thought like the way they drew Takuya's father and Ayato's father, he was kind of a handsome dude. Again, none of this is the season 1 anime. Again, I know I keep referencing season 1 anime, but I just want you. I'm gonna give you context. If you just skip this video and you go watch season 1 anime, you're not gonna get any of this context. You have to read the manga to understand what is going on, because I understood none of it by the time season 1 ended. He tries to get his kids to eat the human food despite he knows it'll make them sick, but he's trying to teach them how to blend in with humans early. Oh yeah, so her father did teach them both to eat human food. It does make them weaker, but he's like, hey, just take small bites, you know, and then force yourself to swallow and hold it down until you can find a bathroom or you can be alone. It'll help you blend in with humans. That way you don't get exposed. That way we don't get killed. But even so, at a young age, Ayato was like, why do we have to hide among humans? We are the pinnacle of the species. We're at the top. We're the peak. Why are we hiding from humans? Let's just kill them. Why can't we just be ourselves and eat human flesh in the daylight? Like, the fuck? What's the problem? Like, Ayato, as a kid, was like, what the hell's the problem? Like, we were made like this. We were created like this. We were born like this. Why does it matter if we eat human flesh or not? These humans should just get over it. I mean, obviously, that's going to get you killed by paranormal investigators because obviously we can't live in the same world. But I do understand the sentiment. But we see that he was a good dad, even reading his kids before bedtime, reading them bedtime stories every night. It's a very cute touch to, again, humanize the ghouls because, again, Tokyo Ghoul is trying to flip the script. It's trying to make you feel bad for the ghouls, even though as a human, if ghouls really exist, we would not be on their side unless you're a psychopath. I don't care if you was like, oh, this ghoul is the best. There's a stupid movie. Side tangent. It's called Day of the Dead or Dawn of the Dead. Me and my brother watched it. It's a zombie movie where like all these zombies keep like a piece of themselves when they were human. And that's a kind of cool touch. But early in the movie, one of the humans, they say he's a vegetarian. He don't eat meat.
Why isn't your gun loaded?
It's complicated.
Cool. I'm a vegetarian, by the way.
Maybe we should keep that between us.
So later he becomes a zombie. The only reason he won't bite another human is because he doesn't eat meat. He's a vegetarian. He's a vegetarian zombie.
Why Thriller over here ain't trying to eat us?
He's a vegetarian.
That's the best explanation you can come up with?
You got a better one?
You know what I'm saying? As long as you don't try to mistake me for a soybean burger, we gonna be all right.
That shit was so corny and made me laugh. Me and my brother was like, what the fuck? We said, this is the dumbest shit we ever seen. She's like, he won't bite you. He's a vegetarian. I'm going to see if I can clip in that scene. Both of them scenes. So stupid. We then get a tease of Takuya's connection to birds as they found a baby bird with an injured wing and no mother around. And so the two of them and their father wanted to nurse it back to health. Obviously, Takuya not having a mother figure or Ayato having a mother figure in their life, they're probably like, hey, since the mother bird's not here, let's get it back to health and we'll save it. That was a very cute touch again, just expanding on like how good their father was, more about Takuya's personality, and a little bit of Ayato because Ayato wanted to help save that bird. Another way that the manga humanizes the father as well as these ghouls is that the father taught himself how to cook. He taught himself how to cook human food to like blend in, to maybe like get back to the elderly woman, because he's like, hey, if we're gonna pretend to be human, if humans are giving us food and we're eating it to blend in, we should return the favor by cooking them food, even though we ain't eat it, we just eat human flesh off the bat. We don't like, I just caught this human today. Let me go ahead and put this in the oven for 350. Bake this in the oven for 350 degrees, and then leave it cooking for 14 minutes. I just eat it. So he's like, yeah, we never had to cook before, but to blend in as humans, we have to do that. And he wanted to do that as a favor to his nice elderly neighbor, and as a great way to blend in. But again, I knew a twist was coming with this elderly woman. We also keep getting a tease about their mother, but there's no hint as of what happened to her yet. Like, they keep referencing their mother, Ayato, and I think Takuya, and maybe even the father mentions her, but we don't know what exactly happened to the mother. We don't know anything about that yet. But we do know that he loved both of his kids a lot, and he made a promise he made them promise to always protect each other, which they readily agreed. Like, he's like, hey, if I'm never around, or if I'm gone away, or if anything happens to me, protect your brother, protect your sister, vice versa. And obviously siblings, they're gonna do that. I said it to my siblings too. I'll protect them all as well. But we then find out how he died, or at least a tease of his death. Mato returns again in another flashback along with the top CCG. Like, they are like hunting ghouls, and they were hunting down the father, whose nickname is the Corpse Collector. I'm not I guess Takuya's father, he didn't kill humans. He would grab like the dead bodies, kind of like what they're doing in Ateiku with like Yomo and Mr. Yashimura, the humans that commit suicide. Yamato and gives thanks to them. Yomo gives thanks to them, and then they bring them back to Ateiku and chop them up. That way they're not really killing humans, but if they're humans, so their body don't go to waste, they're basically like, oh, the circle of life. The circle of life, basically, in Tokyo Ghoul. The same night, Takuya and Ayato waited up for him only to discover that he had been killed by investigators. So, they found out the worst possible way. They waited up all night for their father. They found out he was killed. Meanwhile, Mato and Shinohara, the name of the senior investigator, are looking for the father's ghoul's possible children, and they go around asking people if they've seen any strange children, which I don't know why they would assume that the father had children, but anyways, it sounds kind of weird that people are even aware that ghouls exist, because, again, in the beginning of the manga, it made it seem like people speculated that ghouls exist, or they were like doubters, like how nowadays people doubt that ghosts exist and things like that. But people have confirmed that ghosts and demons exist, like through videos and their own stories. If you haven't seen it, don't mean it don't exist. But it's just weird how like everybody believes in ghouls, even though the manga presented like no one believes in them. But though they challenge some humans, they're worried that like humans might grow attached to the children ghouls, because they're like, oh, but they're just little kids. Like, it's always a story like people say like, would you kill Hitler as a baby before he could ever cause all those crimes? The baby hasn't committed a crime yet. Like, say you're a time traveler, he's going to commit those crimes. Do you wait till he commits the crimes, or about to commit the crimes, or you kill him before it ever starts? So they're saying the same thing about these baby ghouls. Do we kill the babies? Do we kill the children ghouls before they grow up, become monsters too powerful for us to deal with? Or do we kill them while they're still innocent and they can't fight back? Again, a dark way of showing it, but if ghouls existed and you saw a baby vampire or a baby werewolf, you would kill that baby werewolf before it gets bigger and stronger and kills you. To even confirm this, the old woman next door, Miss Sato, that's the name of the old elderly woman, comes to check on Tokua and her brother, and after not seeing them for days, she comes to give them food again, but she suspects that they're ghouls as she forces them to eat her food, and of course they vomit it, which confirms her suspicion. She's like, hey, all that food I've been giving you, I doubted that y'all were eating it, because like, I could tell, I just suspected that you guys weren't eating it. How she got that suspicion, I don't know, but like, forcing children to eat your food in the first place is kind of weird, but again, since everybody knows ghouls exist, even though they're pretending that they're not, again, Mystic Falls on steroids. Everybody knows that ghouls exist. Like, it retcons the whole beginning of this manga. The fact that everybody knows ghouls exist. Hell, the Vampire Diaries retconned itself, saying that no one knew vampires existed when, hell, all the police force know about vampires and werewolves and all that other shit. She reported them to the CCG and they were about to be captured. That is until they mention taking them to meet their father. Like, so at first, the elderly woman's like, hey, I'm gonna take you to the CCG and then you're gonna meet your father again. This understandably makes Tokua freak out and she immediately kills him on instinct. So I think Tokua, she's like, oh yeah, we know our father's dead, and the fact that she's talking about something, we're gonna meet our father again means you're gonna kill us. And you also are probably the reason our father's dead, so Tokua just went all out and killed him as a child. She then goes on to save the bird they've been treating and it randomly bites her. Oh, so random side tangent. Why in zombie movies are there never zombie dogs or birds? Like, you know how like every zombie movie, like if you get bitten, whether you die or not, eaten up, a lot of flesh gone, you still turn into a zombie. Where are the zombie dogs? Where are the birds that are definitely pecking dead flesh and became zombie birds? Zombie movies, that's just a question for zombie movies. Where are the zombie dogs? Where are the zombie animals? You can't outrun a zombie dog, especially a lot of zombie dogs. Only Resident Evil ever did that. But I'm telling you, y'all better fix some zombie dogs and zombie birds. Anyways, the two siblings go on a run and they're forced into hiding. This is when we start to see a change in Ayato's mind. Because remember, as a kid, Ayato was like, why do we gotta hide from humans? We're apex predators. What are we hiding for? What the fuck? He said they wouldn't have to run and hide if they could just ghoul out, which is true because it's not like they burn in the sunlight like vampires. Like, to kill a ghoul, you need a kiniki weapon, and kinikis are only created from a dead ghoul, a kagane. So how you kill a ghoul in the first place and then get your hands on a kagane, I'm not sure. Or your hands on a kagane to turn it into a kiniki, I'm not sure how they did it before that. So it's very curious how they initially got their hands on kinikis if you needed to kill a ghoul to get your hands on a kiniki. Unless you're relying on ghouls that already killed each other, like cannibalistic ghouls, and then you turned that ghoul's kagane into a weapon and then used it against other ghouls. But I mean, that's kind of complicated, but I'm assuming that's what probably happened. My own speculation. Unless there's other weaknesses from ghouls that we don't know about. Because we know they don't burn in the sunlight. Vampires have multiple ways to kill them. Stake to the heart, burn by sunlight, garlic, decapitation, fire, multiple ways to kill other monsters. Werewolves, wolf's bane, chopping the head off, decapitation as well, silver bullets. Anyways, we didn't see Tokua and Ayato were a team of badasses living under the roof of Anteiku, but picking fights with ghouls all over and getting scolded for it. So Ayato wasn't just a little badass. Tokua was badass too. Tokua was like, oh yeah, let's fuck up these ghouls up. They killed our father, the CCG, so we hate humans. I guess it was before Tokua started blending with humans. She was just like her brother. She was like, yeah, I'm with you. Let's ghoul out. Let's kill people. Let's fight other ghouls too. It was actually Mr. Yashimura who taught Tokua, particularly that she could put her efforts into something more benefiting, like teaching her to go to school. But since she had never attended school before, she was homeschooled to the point where she could go to school, I guess high school, and blend in with humans. So I guess Mr. Yashimura had taught Tokua, like, hey, if you want to blend in better with humans, if you want to not get caught or killed by a CCG, because you out here picking fights, and you winning, you and your brother winning, but that's going to draw attention. Or draw other ghouls to attack you, then you're gonna eat by other cannibalistic ghouls. So I'm gonna teach you how to blend in with humans. But since you never went to school, I'm gonna give you school teaching. Now, why he didn't do the same for Ayato, I don't know. That's not explained. Unless Ayato didn't want it, which would make sense for Ayato's personality, since again since he was a child, he never wanted to blend in with humans. But I was just curious, like, why you didn't show on screen like Ayato rejecting learning that. But I guess you thought we would just interpret that, I guess. So Tokua started school while Ayato stayed at home, and while she used to come home from school to tell him all about her day and her friend Yorkio, this is the first time that she could friends with her, Ayato would cut her off and say he doesn't care about it, just give them food. He's like, oh yeah, Ayato is like, I don't give a shit about all that. Their food. Why are you making friends with our food? You don't go outside and make friends with a cow. You don't go outside and make friends with a chicken. Humans don't go outside and make friends with the fish in the water. They cook them, they eat them, they dead. So he's like, why are you making friends with our food? Again, in perspective of the ghouls, you kind of are with Ayato on this, but since we're humans, reading this manga, I'm like, no, Ayato, you dead. Die, bitch. But he goes on further to explain that it's because their father got killed, and he used to try to befriend Miss Ayato, even forcing his kids to eat her food so they could learn to blend in. That's why they got caught. Like, if they would have never accepted food from Miss Ayato, if they said it was good, if they just killed Miss Ayato off the bat, their father would be alive. So, though their father was looking for coexistence, he still got killed in the end. So, in his eyes, Ayato's way is justified. Like, Ayato's like, my way of thinking is going to keep us alive. Your way of thinking, blending in with these humans, are going to get you caught. They were born this way, and they can't control the way they were born. They can control what they hunger for. It's just their nature. So humans will always kill them, and that's why he prefers to kill them first. This expanded the divide between him and his sister. So Tokua was all about keeping the beliefs of her father, blending in with humans, blending in with society, hoping that one day coexist. Where Ayato was like, we either kill them or they kill us first. Which again, in the context of ghouls, it does make sense. Ayato has a point. But since Kaneki is the character we're following, he lives in both worlds. He is a human that's turned into a ghoul against his will. And he's a one-eyed ghoul. He's a hybrid. He's a half-breed. We're kind of on the fence too. But I do understand Ayato's perspective. You can't help what you were born as. Which is a defense that works in multiple ways, actually. Like, a lot of people like to say, like, you're born something, you were born black or white, so, or Mexican or Latino, so your nature is this, which is not true. Nature versus nurture. We don't decide, the three things, a little history lesson for everybody that y'all all know about, but here's three things here's three things we cannot control. You do not control if you were born a boy or a girl. That's just a fact. You were either born a boy or you're born a girl. You can change your sex later. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about three things you cannot control. You cannot control the gender you were born as. Secondly, you cannot control the time you were born. You cannot control if you were born at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. You can't control if you were born on May 1st or February 29th. You don't control that. You are born when you're born. Third thing you cannot control is the color of your skin. This is not no choose your character when you're born. Otherwise, God would make us all the same, honestly. And we're all different, and that's fine. I love that for us. I love the diversity. But you don't control the color of your skin. If we could control the color of our skin, I'd make us all the same color so that we have one less thing to be racist about. Because race is a thing that exists. But that's not what we're here to talk about in this video. It's just wanted to talk about the three things that we cannot control. Those are three things. You cannot control the color of your skin. You cannot control the time you were born. And you cannot control if you was born a boy or a girl. A lot of people forget that. And I think that's crazy. Also, I guess going into the time you're born could also fit in like you don't control the family you're born into. You don't control if you're born into a wealthy family or a poor family. You're just born. And it's up to you to figure it out from there. Which is why you make friends, family. And we should all coexist and help each other. So that's why I'm Team Tokua, even though, like I said, Ayato has a point. He cannot control his nature. Those are three things he cannot control. He can't control that he was born a ghoul. He cannot control the time that he was born. And he cannot control that he was born a boy. Not that he's complaining about the last two. He's just complaining about the fact that, like, he was born a ghoul, and this is what they hunger for, this is what they do, this is what they eat. He can't control it. He can't change his nature. If he could eat human food and it could satisfy him, he would do it. But it makes him sick, it makes him weaker, it makes him want to die. But we also see that separation from our brother was tearing his relationship with Tokua apart. The Season 1 anime really needed this depth. This is something that the Season 1 anime could have expanded upon. I think I mentioned this before. And I'm going to mention a little bit more about Season 1 now. The Season 1 anime could have expanded on the One-Eyed King or the One-Eyed Owl, whichever one I want to go with. We could have expanded on this relationship between Tokua and her brother Ayato. we needed this flashback in season 1. We need to know who these characters are. You have a lot of characters you're introducing constantly. Amiyara, Shinohara, Juzo. And we, 71 chapters in, barely know who these characters are. By now in Bleach, we knew who all the captains were. By now in Naruto, we knew who all the Rookie 9 were. By now in One Piece, you knew who at least most of the Straw Hats were and what their motivations were. And even in Black Clover, you knew Asta and Yuno and most of the Black Bulls and their motivations. So you got to do a little bit better. I know the manga's over, but next time, when you create this many characters, you got to flesh them out. Or if you do the anime, you got more time, flesh it out in anime. Put the stuff in there that, like, maybe the manga would have took too long to draw, you know? Back at the battle, though, Ayato is preparing to finish Tokua off, but Kaneki shows up just in time to save her. All this is surprising to me because none of this, again, is in the anime. All this is manga only. So, speculation from here. Kaneki's about to whoop Ayato's ass. And then, because I know the season 1 manga, spoilers in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoiler alert, I'm about to spoil something about the season 1 anime ending. Season 1 anime ending, Kaneki randomly joined the Agori tree. He randomly teams up with them and goes off with them. It's not explained why he did that. So, speculation is maybe he defeats Ayato and then they take him as a replacement for Ayato. But also in the season 1 anime, Ayato was alive and still with the Agori tree. So again, my speculation could be wrong, but I'm assuming maybe we got a Full Metal Alchemist / Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood thing going on. We got a Shaman King anime / Shaman King Netflix thing going on, or Shaman King manga thing going on. Not exactly 100% sure, but that's my speculation. For now, I'm going to end this video. I don't want to drag this out too much longer. But yes, read the Tokyo Ghoul manga and then watch the anime, because the anime is going to fly through stuff. And by the time season 1 ends after episode 12, you're going to be very lost, very confused. Whereas the manga will flesh these things out. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey guys, this video was sponsored by me, the author of the Shinry series, the Chronicles of Wayne, and Monsterverse. So I figured I'd do this outro a little bit different by showing you guys what you guys will be checking out. So, the Shinry series starts with Book 1, Shobu Samurai Project Aryoku. 10 years after the death of his parents, Shobu Samurai returns home seeking vengeance, but instead faces the choice to save his home from shadow creatures, blood beasts, and an organization once thought dead. Shinry's Shobu Samurai starts at $9.99. And if you love anime, manga, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, Fairy Tail, Shaman King, Rave Master, Zatch Bell, anything like that, the Shinry series is definitely the series for you. You'll definitely want to check it out. The Sword of Light is probably the thickest one so far. And then these books are 2. This is Enter the Dread Zone Tournament. And the series original ending, Arato, the Legendary Conjuring Master. So, and I'll just show you guys some of the covers. Really proud of all of these. But I hope you guys check it out. If you don't like that, I also have the current published books for the Chronicles of Wayne, Love Be Damned, Cotton Candy, Full Moons, Fabled Lovers, A Cursed Virgin's Bite. If You Go Where Monsters Dance, Red will Rain Over Your House. Love Be Damned. Now, the Chronicles of Wayne is about a geeky guy, or a nerdy guy in high school. His senior year, he has a crush on the hottest guy in school, because of course he does. He's only got one best friend, and her name is Barb. Well, the hottest guy in school turns out to be a werewolf. And to make the story more interesting, he bites Wayne and turns Wayne into the first ever wolfman in the last 10 years. And because of that, it was also a sacred law that wolfmen should never be created. I don't want to get into too much of the Chronicles of Wayne without spoiling it, but I can tell you it's very short. This one sells for $6.99, and Love Be Caged right after it. The ending of this trilogy, Love Be Liberated, comes out in October. So I'm going to definitely do a more full in-depth review of this one. But yeah, it's an LGBT fantasy fiction story about werewolves, vampires, white witches, a dark warlock, and, well, many, many more surprises to come. So, if you guys like to read, I definitely recommend. These are all the books so far in the Shinry series, except for Shinry's Beginning. I do have that one, but it's just not here with me. But yeah, I appreciate a like, support, or just a review on Amazon. Either way, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day.